song Annie, the only song I'll give you today other than one that was in my mind 20 minutes ago that I'll come back with maybe. Annie, you know, the sun will come up tomorrow. I love that line. And we all have a choice to make. If you're out there struggling, having a hard time, you know, just doing whatever you're doing that's difficult, and you haven't slowed yourself down to realize, why don't I make the change that I know I need to make? You know, why don't I change? You know, the sun's going to come up tomorrow whether you like it or not, and the world is going to continue moving forward with or without you. So that's one of the choices that we all have is to get on the positive side of what life's going to do, or just continue to fight it in ways that will never work for you.
And so in that vein, so much of life is, at least for me, is following models that I've seen be successful. So I don't know how smart my father is, and there's some funny family stories where that Lily thought he was, I don't want to say retarded because that's not the right word, but they didn't think he was very smart, and so thankfully he had an aunt who said no, he's a reasonably smart guy and he can do anything he puts his mind to, and so he did. Dad was dogged and to get ahead, and I've looked at that and I said, okay, if Dad can get ahead, so can I, and so no one can outwork me, and that's kind of what I've always kind of prided myself. I'm not the smartest, but I can work harder than almost anybody. Maybe not as hard as Steve, but pretty darn hard. And so look around you. There are role models around you. Find someone that has the values you want, whether they're older, younger, of the same sex or others, and figure out how you get in their slipstream. Figure out how you can do what they're doing, and the chances are you will get further along than if you don't do that. So
it's good advice, Dave. We got a couple minutes left, maybe 2 minutes to sum it up. What you just said about working hard, oh yeah, the work ethic, having to work. But let me say this. Today's whole show that you brought forth today that was unannounced to me, which I love today's show. We're going to do more of this. There's plenty of wonderful readings out there that we can all learn from, that we can talk about. By the way, I've been in a Bible study for 10 straight years, and we follow pretty much the same format. We read it all the way through, and then we sort of talk about what comes out that you might want to talk further about, and that leads you to other places. You start off in one chapter of the Bible, and all of a sudden you're like in another book of the Bible because it cross-references and you do things, and just start, and it will increase your knowledge. It'll just grow with
That's
you.
a good metaphor for life. Just start.
Yeah.
Start down your path, and it'll take you someplace.
What I wanted to put out though was you gave me a compliment that you work hard as anybody you know, but maybe Steve works a little harder. Well, there's a difference between working hard and working smart, and so hey, I'm getting up there in the years now, and I'm still in pretty good shape. But here's the thing: I'll get out there, and if we're moving something, like maybe my youngest son Josh, if something weighs 75 pounds, but you can do half of it in the first load and then the other half in the second load, I've learned to do 2 trips. And I've watched people, I'm not picking on Josh. I'm proud of my son Josh. My son Josh is one of the hardest working people I know. I'm very proud of my son, and as you are of your boys. But I've learned that if I just don't strain myself and I go move it, and then I come back, and the person that's trying to carry the 80-pound load in one trip, they're stopping halfway and taking a breather and putting it down because it was too heavy to keep walking. So that's the best example I can give you on working hard and working smart. Sometimes small loads, get you further along.
What's that saying? Many hands make for small work, or something like that.
Yeah, that's
kind of a version of that.
Well, hey Dave, we're coming to the end now. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we sign off?
No, just a pleasure to be here, and I've been listening to some of the recent shows that Steve has done, and they've been wonderful. Go listen to Sonny's Sing Amazing Grace. It's at 46 minutes and 40 seconds on a couple of shows ago. And Richard Kay's, it was just incredibly touching, the last show. So go back and listen to some of these. It's just good stuff.
Thank you, Dave. Well, once again, Dave, it's just been wonderful having you here. I hope that all of you listeners have gotten something out of this, and we're here for you. If you want to contact Dave, contact him through Right Thinking Foundation, rightthink.org. Reach out to us, and we promise that we'll get back to you. And because we want to hear your stories too. We want to talk to you. We want to be there for you. So rightthink.org. But we'll be back again next week, and I just want to thank you again, Dave, and everybody. Have a wonderful week, and God bless you. Thanks for listening to Right Thinking with Steve Copeland. I look forward to being with you again next week. And remember, don't quit, plan ahead, it will get better. God bless you and have a great week.